Pressing buy now feels insignificant, a casual action performed while sitting on a couch or standing in line for coffee. 2 days later, a package appears at your door. From the outside, it looks effortless, a clean, instant exchange between you and a website. But this simplicity is an illusion. That single click quietly triggers one of the most complex coordination processes in the modern world, involving financial systems, data networks, logistics engines, and corporate agreements that must all align in real time. Why the store doesn't trust you. The moment you submit your payment, the store does not assume honesty, because in the digital economy, blind trust is financially suicidal. Unlike a physical shop where a cashier can see your face and body language, an online store sees nothing but data. Criminals exploit this invisibility. Stolen cards, fake identities, and automated fraud attacks happen at industrial scale. So every transaction begins with suspicion, not confidence. Your information is instantly routed to a payment gateway, a system designed to function like a high-speed security checkpoint for money. It does far more than verify card numbers. It examines your IP address, device type, operating system, browser version, and whether your setup matches what it has seen before. It evaluates how fast you typed, how your mouse moved, and whether your behavior resembles that of real humans or automated bots. To the system, you are not a person, you are a statistical profile. And that profile must look consistent. You are not submitting payment details alone, you are submitting your digital identity for judgment. The silent interrogation of your identity. If anything about your transaction feels out of place, the system hesitates. A purchase from a new country, a different phone, a sudden expensive item, each increases the probability that someone else may be impersonating you. Fraud rarely looks dramatic. It looks slightly wrong, and modern systems are designed to detect small abnormalities, not obvious crimes. When you receive a one-time code on your phone, it is not a convenience feature. It is a challenge response test. This system is asking you to prove that you control the same identity it has learned over time. This is not about passwords anymore. It is about behavioral continuity. At this stage, you are not truly approved. You are merely not rejected. Your transaction is passing through a live risk assessment, where machines calculate probabilities based on billions of past transactions. Your identity is being evaluated as a moving pattern, not a static account. How global payment networks move trust, not money. Once past the initial fraud filters, your transaction enters the global payment networks. Visa and MasterCard do not lend money, and they do not hold accounts. They operate the infrastructure that allows banks to speak to one another instantly across borders. They are not financial institutions, they are real-time communication systems for trust. They transmit a standardized message to your bank asking two things. Does this customer have sufficient funds? And does this transaction align with their normal behavior? Your bank does not simply check whether money exists. It checks whether the transaction makes sense. Banks maintain behavioral models for every customer. These models learn where you shop, when you spend, how much you usually pay, and how frequently you travel. A transaction that violates this pattern can be blocked even if you are wealthy. The system is not protecting money alone. It is protecting identity consistency. Approval without payment. When your bank returns an authorization code, it looks like payment has happened. In reality, nothing has moved. No money has left your account. What exists is a temporary reservation, a promise that funds will be available later. This delay exists because digital payments are reversible. A customer can dispute a charge weeks after a purchase. Banks can reverse transactions. Regulators require these protections. But this creates a dangerous gap. The merchant may ship a product long before payment is final. This is the most fragile moment in online commerce. The seller is exposed, the buyer can vanish, the money can be recalled, the product cannot. This gap is the core risk that shapes the entire payment industry. The hidden role of payment processors. This is where payment processors become essential. Companies like Stripe and PayPal act as financial intermediaries that absorb uncertainty. They temporarily guarantee transactions to merchants, even though the underlying money transfer is not yet final. Their percentage fee is not just for software. It is for risk. They are selling insurance against chargebacks, fraud claims, and identity theft. They analyze millions of transactions to decide which ones are safe enough to guarantee. Even after your bank approves, the processor may still block the payment. This is why payment failed does not always mean insufficient funds. It often means the system judged the transaction too risky to insure. Speed is sacrificed to protect the network. When the physical world takes over, once the financial side clears, the transaction enters a second universe, logistics. Digital approval instantly activates physical infrastructure. Inventory systems check which warehouse has stock. Algorithms calculate optimal routes based on distance, demand, and delivery speed. Your order may be routed to a third-party fulfillment company you have never heard of. In some cases, it goes directly to a manufacturer on another continent. Robotic systems and human workers collaborate to locate the item, scan it, package it, and inject it into global shipping streams within minutes. At this point, finance hands control to physics. The moment the store loses control, once your package leaves the warehouse, the retailer is no longer in charge. The shipping company now controls the outcome. Delivery predictions are not promises, they are statistical forecasts. Courier companies operate massive predictive systems that consider traffic patterns, fuel availability, labor shifts, weather disruptions, customs delays, and regional demand spikes. Every arrives Friday estimate is a probability calculation, not a guarantee. Millions of deliveries constantly update these models in real time. What feels like certainty is actually mathematics managing chaos. A network of companies that do not belong together. What makes this system remarkable is not automation, but coordination. Your bank, the processor, the retailer, the warehouse, and the courier are separate companies with separate incentives. They do not work for each other. They cooperate through fragile networks of contracts and data connections. All must function correctly within seconds. If even one system fails, a server outage, a false fraud flag, a logistics error, the entire chain stops. Why you are constantly being watched. Every successful transaction strengthens your digital identity. Each purchase teaches the system more about you, what you buy, when you spend, where you travel, which devices you use, and how your habits evolve over time. This data forms a living financial fingerprint that grows more detailed with every interaction. This surveillance is not primarily about control. It is about scale. Humans evolved to trust small groups. We cannot instinctively trust millions of strangers across continents. Global commerce makes anonymity normal, and anonymity creates risk. So instead of relying on human judgment, we built continuous verification systems. The system exists not because people are dishonest, but because modern trade operates at a scale where personal trust is impossible. The real meaning of buy now. The button does not mean instant ownership. It means submitting yourself to a global trust machine. It translates to ask dozens of independent systems if they believe I am real, consistent, and safe. If all agree within seconds, I may receive an object in the mail. The smoother the experience feels, the more complicated the machinery underneath, the invisible machine behind everyday life. What appears as convenience is one of the greatest coordination achievements in human history. A worldwide network of competing corporations temporarily aligns to deliver a toaster to your door. Every successful online purchase is proof that hundreds of hidden systems cooperated flawlessly. The real miracle is not the speed, it is the synchronization. And the next time you press buy now, remember, you're not just shopping. You're triggering one of the most complex systems ever built, a global network that decides in seconds whether to trust you. If this changed how you see the digital world, make sure to like and subscribe, because once you notice the invisible systems around you, you start seeing the modern world very differently.